What's going on? What's going on? This is your host Shred on Irregular Raps. Another day in the stew at the station, and I got another guest on the show. Rap artist named Phresh Air. I'm just gonna get straight into it. Phresh Air. So, how has God been blessing you lately today, man?
As of lately,
yeah,
man, I tell you, I just see provisions for me and my wife. Just us being taken care of. You know, every paycheck, is a blessing. Every car ride is a blessing. I mean, I'm here with you today.
Hey,
that's a blessing.
Hey, that's a blessing.
The promotions, people hearing the album, people hearing my music, checking out the videos, people being blessed, by the different things I'm doing, and it's just been great. I'm just thankful to be used by God.
Cool, man. It's good to be thankful over the small things. A lot of people miss out on the blessings. I actually been focused on that lately, just thinking about the small things in life and how blessed we are. We don't realize it. We think we're blessed when we have like the big stuff, the car, the house, but when you think about the little stuff, you realize how blessed you really are. You got clothes, you got food. So yeah, man.
Real talk.
That's what's up. So yeah, I like your music. I was listening to your music and I like what you got. I heard some of your tracks and followed up on your videos that you sent me. I like your videos. I like your tracks, and I heard the song Bar for Bar. The Bar for Bar video was cool. Talk to him. You got songs Nothing Matters to Me video and the True Story music video I like as well. Are any of these from the album Hear Me Out? This is the album that you came out with, what, 2 years ago?
Actually, this year.
This year, okay.
January, yeah.
Oh, so it's recent. So
yeah.
So you're still creating new music, it seems like. Okay, so Hear Me Out. It seems like you are on your hustle tip because you're making music right away. And I have an interesting question right now. The fact that you're making music right away and you just put out this music, do you feel like for the people nowadays, especially the younger generation, that it's important to just continue to keep making music and to keep making singles for them and to keep things flowing for them because they want things fast?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I'm keeping up. I mean, to you it may seem like I'm keeping up, but to me I feel like I'm actually behind. I'm 26 years old. Yeah. I see cats 18, like 19, like killing the game, dropping stuff like consistently. So I just try to keep up, especially in this generation when things are moving so fast. Technology. I mean, you don't really need to buy a studio. You can do it yourself. You don't need to do studio time. You can do it yourself. Yeah. So I just try to keep up and keep people interested in the things that I got going on. So I just appreciate the people that have been rocking with me so far, and I just try to keep them entertained and keep giving content and substance that honors the Lord and encourages people. You
talking about you feel like you behind? I feel like I'm behind. I'm not even going to bring up my age.
Oh boy.
I feel like I'm behind, but anyway. Past the age past the age subject. Where are you from?
Originally I'm from Capitol Heights, Maryland.
Cool.
PG County through and through. That's pretty much all I know. Yeah.
And how did rap music start off for you at a young age? Like, what inspired you to start writing rap and creating rap music?
Well, honestly, as a teenager and as a kid, I wasn't that popular. I wasn't that cool. I was kind of like the awkward kid, on the block. But it wasn't until I was with my cousin Ray Ray and we was freestyling to this karaoke machine.
There's always a Ray Ray.
Yeah, there's a Ray Ray in every family, man.
Always a Ray Ray.
We got out one summer. We had a karaoke machine, and it was pop music playing to the karaoke machine. And he was rapping. I'm like, how are you making this stuff up? He was like, just off the top. So I started to rap with him, and then I started to do it more. I was like, I like this. I like this. So I started writing. That was back in like 2003. So I was like 13 or 12.
Oh, wow.
And then from then, I just kept going. I started doing it in school, started getting that respect, started doing it on the block, on the streets, and people that didn't know me now associated me with rap. So whenever there was a cypher going on, it's like, go ahead, Mike, go ahead, Phresh, go ahead. So I really found my sense of worth, my ability to make hip-hop music.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought that up. The way you started was similar to the way I started rap, because actually it was while I was working with my brother. He's an electrician. I was working with him, and at this job, man, I was just like, yo, just messing around, just acting, stupid. I was like, yo, watch me drop this rap, and, then, and it came right off the top of my head, and I was like, I said this. I remember it too. It's embedded in my head.
Wow.
Man. I was like, yo. I was like, Mike won a check too. They call me Drew. Hit it. I rock the mic when I spit it. Just don't forget it. Admit it. I'm with it. I was like, hold up.
Wait.
Hold up, yo, bro, I can rap, dog.
What's up?
I was like, he was like, yo, check this out. And I spit it to him. He was like, okay, Drew.
Okay, sir.
So, so that's how it started with me. And I was like, yo, I'm going to keep doing this. Because before that, I was actually producing beats. So that's cool that you mentioned that. It's similar to my story, but it was to my brother. I didn't rap battle. Many people do. Do you, you said you cipher. Do you do a lot of ciphers? Like, have you done a lot of ciphers?
As of recently, no. Okay. But if I catch one, of course I'm gonna hop in, because I just appreciate the art of freestyling. Yeah. Because nowadays people call freestyle just a free verse, and I'm on the side that it's like, no, you call it a free verse because you're really not rapping about nothing. It's random thoughts. Yeah. But a freestyle is something that you're coming up with off the top of your dome. So that's the era of hip hop that I come from. So if I see a cipher, best believe I'm jumping in because I appreciate the art.
So you're good at freestyle.
I'm okay.
I'll go have you freestyle on the mic.
I'm okay. You gotta catch me in the zone.
So I would describe your music as open, boomy, real, confident, and brawny. Brawny is when I was like, I'm just gonna put this just because, you know, my creative mind. It's like, I can do that.
Right.
So you know, boomy, because of the music, you got a boomy production, a little trap influence, but your other music is not that way. Who did the production on Hear Me Out, and who's doing it for you right now?
My engineer is Lou Ciccone. Right. Shout out to my man, also known as Perfect Marvel. Good guy.
All right.
A lot of different beats from cats on YouTube. I can't even name all the producers that I guess.
You got a lot, man. You got to stack a team.
Yeah. I just try to work with a lot of different producers so my music doesn't sound the same.
Yeah, hit me up. I'm a producer, man.
Okay. I'm about to get on there.
So I said real. You're more down to earth with your music. That's what I get out of your music. And actually, the song we're going to play later, I think it's Nothing Matters to Me right now. That song is more real to me. You're talking about struggles in your life and what you're going through. So we're going to play that later.
Okay.
Brawny, this is more of a physical connotation I put to your music. Brawny means strong, but brawny to me, metaphorically, I said brawny because your music has strength, because it has words of encouragement. That's why I said brawny. Would you agree with these words?
Absolutely. I feel like you're capturing what I try to do. So I appreciate that. Like the little bit of trap influences, the transparency, but I also want to hit you over the head with real life and encouragement.
Yeah.
So while you resonate, you know, the things I go through resonate with you, I want to encourage you and, you know, also point you to the hope where I put my hope in, which is Jesus.
Glory to God. Yeah. I give God the props for allowing me to see your future in your music. And you know, knowing that these things were the ones that you're trying to get a hold of.
Right. Absolutely.
So Hear Me Out, the album Hear Me Out. What was the motive of this album? What are you trying to do with this album?
Honestly, this was a reintroduction of who I am as an artist. I've been on the scene for like 10 years. I'm 26. Of course I started rapping when I was like 13, but I feel like I really wasn't like on top of it till I was like 16. So doing this for like 10 years, I've released several projects, you know, maybe 2 mixtapes, an album, a couple compilation artists with a couple of groups. And this year I kind of was like, hey, I want to reintroduce people to who I am and really just set myself apart from anything else that I've put out so far. Like this is me, you know, as I'm figuring out the type of artist that I want to be and the type of audience that I want to reach.
Do you feel like you need to create more unique stuff since you're trying to set yourself apart from other people with your music?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the challenge.
So how do you think you're going to reach that challenge?
Well, honestly, I try to listen to a lot of different artists. Most of the artists I listen to are Christian. Most of them. I listen to Social Club. I listen to NF. I listen to this guy Adrian Stresso, Caleb Mitchell, a lot of underground Christian artists that a lot of people don't know about. And as I listen to them, I hear little bits and pieces of things that I could probably use in my style. Not that I'm biting completely, but bits and pieces. So that's really how I get it, like just inspiration from other artists.
Yeah, so before you couldn't really do that. Like I know with me, at least when I was young, listening to Christian rap, I couldn't really find too much unique styles, and I mean that was because the skills wasn't up to par with Christian rap. Did you feel the same way? And I mean, like back in the day when it wasn't as good, but you're younger, so I had probably a couple more years experience of hearing rappers who weren't that good on the Christian side. So
Right.
Did you feel that way? Like even back then, did it kind of force you to? If you did it kind of force you to listen to like what we call secular rap or rappers?
Well, honestly, the way my life went, no, it was quite the opposite. Because in my life, I wanted Christian rap as a youngster. Like I wanted it, but I couldn't find it. Okay. But by the time I did find a great Christian artist, he actually led me to Christ through his music.
Wow.
And I kind of made a dedication to God to throw away all of my old secular raps, and then I dove into all these different, Christian artists and stuff. So people always coming to me for plug for different artists because I know so many because of the way it influences me.
So I mean, when you was listening to secular rap, you wasn't making music at that time. Is that correct?
I was.
You was. But you weren't influenced by their music?
Yes.
Oh, you was. Okay.
During that time, yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of those influences have kind of kept through the years. But not a lot of the newer cats. So most of my influence from secular hip hop are from the old school cats. I'm talking Eminem, Nelly, J.R. Ryder. Those are and Cassidy, Papoose. Those are the type of secular rappers who I'll listen to for influence. A lot of these new cats, I can't get anything from them. I'm just like, what is this? And that's just me.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel.
It's interesting because now, I mean, on the Christian side, they're more lyrical now.
Yeah.
Then on the secular side, they call it mumble rap or whatever.
Right.
But at least we're like keeping it real with the lyrics.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the lyrical side on our side is, it's crazy. It's hot.
Right. And I try not to be as dismissive to the new generation of hip hop.
Yeah.
I feel like anything, there's always something you can learn.
There
so
is.
even though I don't listen to it like repetitively, I'll give it a listen if a friend's like, hey, you got to check this out.
Yeah.
So I check it out and I go, okay, I see what they did there. I see how that can be appreciated.
Yeah.
But other than that, I kind of take it for what it is.
Yeah. There's actually a rap artist. I heard him say that people don't understand why this rap that's going on now. The rap side, mumble. But if you actually think about like back in the day when they started off rapping, the parents, the old heads, they was looking at them as like, what is this music?
Right,
so
that's true.
You gotta at least, I guess, kind of just look at them as if they're just doing their own thing, like they were doing their own thing back in the day with rap.
Right.
I think a lot of older dudes wouldn't agree fully to that because they started off with a genre which is rap. We still had rap, but we're just changing the genre, so it's a little different, but still can still respect what they're doing, I guess.
Absolutely.
Did you feel like with this album, Hear Me Out, do you feel like you was letting a lot off your chest? Actually, the song I'm gonna play later, Nothing Matters to Me, is that on Hear Me Out?
Yes, it is.
So, do you feel like at times you're letting a lot off your chest? Like that song felt like you was letting a lot off your chest.
For sure. Okay, music is definitely like a vent for me.
It is. We're gonna talk about that later.
Okay.
But actually, no. Let's stick to that topic. So we know that we know that people like to let a lot off their chest. In general with music, no matter what size of music, no matter what genre. Do you feel like in your music you've said something that you wish you didn't say before because the fact that you are letting a lot off your chest, do you feel like there's some things that you wish you could have went back and changed what you said in that music or that song?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
I mean, your music is not bad. You're not cursing.
Right.
You just wonder.
Right. There's lines I've questioned before, like, do I really want to say this? Then I have to think about who am I really aiming to please. I'm really aiming to please God.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm not offending God, based on my own convictions and what I know in scripture, I go with it. There was a line where I talked about, having a hard time loving my wife. My wife understands. She probably has a hard time loving me sometimes. Marriage is a struggle. So yes, that's really transparent. And some people could take it the wrong way. Like, what do you mean you don't love your wife? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean you have a hard time loving your wife? If they were married, they might understand the struggle. But I don't regret that. But I do sometimes think about the stuff that I say before I say it, and I think back like, was it worth it? And I go, yeah.
That's cool that you're looking to please God more than man. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. Do you feel like rappers these days, either on the Christian side or the secular side, do you feel like they're saying stuff that they shouldn't say before? Let's go with the secular side. I mean, we all know that they're saying stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, what about the Christian side?
Okay. Well, the Christian side, that's a really hot topic right there because it all plays a big role in where you are. because you know we're on the East Coast, so we have a certain standard. Our Christians or our Christianese, we have a certain standard. On the West Coast, it may be different. They may be fine with you using certain words, you know, on that side, and vice versa. But so when your music gets from here to over there, it may just rub people the wrong way. But at the end of the day, you have to serve your audience, and you have to serve Jesus Christ, and at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer for the things that you said out of your mouth before God. So I would say, yes, some people say some things, in my opinion, that they shouldn't say, but I'm not their judge. You know what I'm saying? So
I guess you want to expand on that, or maybe like a song or artist.
I couldn't do that.
I understand.
I couldn't do that.
I understand. I mean, that's a deep topic. I mean, it can go deeper to the point where you're critical, but you're, you know, the other artists, they might take it in the wrong way.
Right. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to scripture and when it comes to us using words, it focuses on what we do to lift up or tear down people. Yeah. So when it comes down to using words like the N word or an A word or a D word, and the person just threw the word out there, if someone is offended, how are they offended? Are they offended because they just heard the word, or are they offended because they talk about tearing down someone using those words? And I think that's the school of thought we have to use, because when you watch movies, you know, you're not complaining. People cussing all the time, and it's fine. But you're not offended. They're not talking about you. They're just, you know, acting a role, playing a role. Now, if that's offensive to you, that's your thing. But if you're not, I think you should kind of hold these artists to the same standards and let them be free. Yeah.
What about the fact that for Christians rapping, do you feel like we need to be more courageous with our statements when it comes to just spreading the gospel? And how do you feel like we could be more courageous and bold, you think?
I think it depends on your calling.
Okay.
I listened to a dope interview by Flame a while ago talking about the differences between a Christian artist or an artist who is Christian, because some people are literally trying to bring people to Jesus through their music. Some artists are just trying to make good music, even though their lives glorify God. They're not necessarily trying to use their music to bring people to Jesus. With that said, as a believer, as a follower of Jesus, your call, period, is to make disciples. Now, how you do that is based on your call, your gifting, you know, your passions and things like that. So one way or the other, whether it's through your music or just through your relationships with people at work, somehow, some way, you should be spreading the gospel. So yes, I do believe we should be more courageous, whether that's on music, on wax, or just in our everyday lives with the people we interact with.
Amen.
Because that's just our calling.
Amen. I mean, we got God on our side. Why shouldn't we? You know, we're gonna play your song in a minute. The name of the song is 150. But first, before we play the song, let me ask you one more question. We talked about the fact that, you know, people, you know, they make diss tracks and all, and they're talking explicit messages, and you kind of picked on that earlier. What if that happened to you? Let's say, you know, it doesn't happen on the Christian side, you know,
right?
But you never know. It can happen from the secular side, and I'm like, yo, this is going to happen one day in the future, like, because Christian rap is getting bigger and bigger. So what if that happens to an artist, like, you know, somebody from the secular side creates a diss track to an artist on the Christian side? Why would they? Who knows? But what if somebody did that to you? How would you handle that situation?
That's interesting. I'm gonna quote a line from Cassidy. He said, "I wish I get this just to respond to it." Before Christ, that might have been my mentality. You know what I'm saying? Oh, please diss me. Please, I want to come at you. But nowadays, I think it would depend on the situation. And if it's friendly. If it's friendly fire. Because sometimes I think we can be competitive, you know, with our friends. But if it's like a shot, like a diss, like I don't like you, I don't think wax is a way to come back or respond. I might reach out to that individual and say, hey, is this real? Is this a publicity stunt? Are you really after attention? Like, what are you really after? You know, because I can act too. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I would do it, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to play around with this for fun, I have no problem with that. I love battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. But if this is for real, I can't respond to this.
We're gonna touch on that topic. We're going to touch on that topic later, because I have another question. It's about battle rap. You know, they do that in battle rap. So we're gonna play this song 150 right now, and then we're gonna come back. If you got a question for Phresh Air, call 301-429-9247. Yo, it is Strid back on Irregular Raps. I'm here with Phresh Air, rap artist, man. And that song you heard was 150 by Phresh Air. 150. What does that stand for?
It's kind of just a step over 100.
Okay.
It's nothing deep. It's just keeping it real, keeping it true, being thorough, authentic.
Going over your limits.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that like a new slang term that you just came? Is that what you consider as a trendy term?
No.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, I mean, now that 100 is an emoji that you can text people, and I do it all the time, I figured I'd just take it to the next level. 150.
I mean, you could turn it into something.
It could.
You could put it in t-shirts and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true, man.
That would be something people start putting on Facebook. 150 because they already put 100.
That's true. It's kind of played out by now.
You can start something, man.
I could.
Don't let me steal your trademark.
Right.
Let me trademark this thing. So yeah, we were talking about battle rap, kind of like battle rap earlier. Actually, we're gonna go into that topic just for a minute.
Okay.
These battle rappers, like, have you heard some of the Christian battle
rappers?
Yeah.
Yes.
They are a beast. Would you ever be interested in doing something?
Yes, I would. I have a good friend, AJ. Shout out to my man AJ. He's a Christian battle rapper, and he's done a couple of scenes, a couple of battles, and I've been watching him. And sometimes I help him prep. Like we'll kind of go head to head with each other, and he'll kind of let me like tear him apart. Like freestyling and stuff, just kind of get him prepared for the battle. And in that, I kind of think like, Mike, could I really do this? Like, Phresh, could you really do this? And then I think like, it takes a lot. Like I see what my homeboy does to prepare for those battles. It's a lot of work. Acapella. And plus as a believer, it's a lot harder because your goal isn't to necessarily tear down your opponent. It's kind of to just like outperform your opponent while at the same time holding to your own convictions and representing the Lord as best you can. Which is shown by showcasing your skills. Yeah.
So as Christians doing it, do you feel like it's possible to reach out to the people at the same time? What's the dude's name? I wish I remember his name, but he's good, man. And actually during one of his battles, he was like,
I know who you're talking about too.
He was spitting some truthful stuff. Some scriptural stuff.
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
It's a couple of them. It's a guy named Street Hymns. It's a guy named dang it, what's the kid there? I listened to him.
Oh man. I'll let y'all know if I find it later.
All right.
Yeah. But the question is, do you feel like, do you feel like people could reach out and I know they can influence people. I mean, I feel like they're influencing people when they do stuff like that. They're adding content.
I think it's just a competition, just like basketball, just like the way Stephen Curry can represent the Lord, playing basketball.
Yeah.
Or what's the football? Shoot. You do the Tim Tebow.
Oh, yeah.
Tim Tebow representing the Lord, and he's being competitive in his sport. I feel like hip hop can be like a sport and competitive. So even though you're tearing people down, knocking them out, kind of like tagging them, you don't necessarily hate this person. A Ward, that's the dude in the saga.
Yeah.
They're nice.
I heard A Ward.
A Ward is nice too.
Yeah, I cheated y'all.
Okay, but yeah. So back to what I was saying, like, just like these competitors and sports could tag people, but still represent the Lord and be an influence. I feel like rappers, Christian rappers, could do the same thing. Tagging people up lyrically, but at the same time representing the Lord and loving them right afterwards. And offering salvation and friendship to those who want to get to know God.
Yeah. Do you tend to? I mean, do you always look at rap as a competition, or is it like sometimes you look at it as a competition from your own perspective?
I think it's from my own perspective, especially when I listen to other cats who are kind of in the same lane as I am. Okay,
cool. So going back to your song 150, you said it's not a slang, so you just messed up my question. Because man, I wanted it to be like cool slang, man, so I can actually talk about what's trending now. Because a lot of young people, they always got this new stuff trending.
That's true.
They got the dab, they got these dance moves,
Yes, they do.
Do you dance?
I party. I put it like that. Okay. My wife can really dance, so if you put me next to her, no, I cannot dance. But at a wedding reception, a family reunion, I'm the life of the party. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
And I can dab. That's pretty easy. I can do that during the show. But all the other stuff, that stuff, and I can't pull it off.
I can put it. I'm not gonna show y'all. I can do something. I'm not going to do it to y'all. Just do a little. But anyway, but I was gonna ask you, like, your videos. I guess you don't dance. Would you dance in your music videos if you had the opportunity, or?
Ooh, when I dance in my videos.
I mean, you don't dance, so.
After seeing something like Drake, Hotline Bling, if he can dance in his video and he can't dance worth a lick, then yes, if under the right circumstances, I would get down.
I mean, because I feel like even if you couldn't dance and you was doing it, that would catch people's attention. Because they're like, yo, what is he doing?
Right.
It gets their attention. You know?
It works.
It does. I mean, people like to see that type of stuff in the entertainment. People like to see people embarrass themselves and act stupid, you know. Absolutely,
I would definitely consider it. Send the car. So if you see him dancing in the next video, blame this guy.
We're gonna go to your next song in a minute. But actually, I'm gonna talk about this song. Nothing Matters to Me right now.
Okay.
It talks about more of your struggles. You keep it real in this song. Was there a particular struggle that you was going through during that time when you was creating this song?
Well, it wasn't a particular struggle I was going through at the time, but if I can recall, if I can keep it 150 with y'all, a struggle with pornography is real. Since I was 16, you know, that struggle, not doing it, knowing it's wrong, still doing it. So at times I felt numb to the point where it's like, look, God, I want to honor you. I want to do the right thing, but it's really hard not to obey the desires of my flesh.
Yeah, pornography is definitely, man, it's a struggle that most young people face. I mean, all you gotta do, what people say, all you gotta do is press a button.
Right.
So it's crazy, and I mean, those are one of the people I would reach out to because I struggle with that as well. So just getting through that, man, is, I mean, a lot of young people don't know how to get through it. But this song, I got the term real from you talking about your struggles and deeper issues with your life, but in general, you're talking about how you make it through. I know people can relate to this song because everybody faces pain and turmoil in life. And I just want to add a jewel to tell people that the problems will arise because of circumstances that are beyond our control or because of the mistakes we or other people make. People in the Bible have experienced issues just like us, but one common factor that I see through most of them is that they didn't kill themselves or commit a crime as if their life was over.
Right.
They took these issues and questions and addressed them to God, who says we can pray and he promises to answer our prayers. And many a times God will answer us through the Bible. Other times he'll answer us through other people or resources, and there's people in life who are used to the help of other people. I mean, that's why we have each other as brothers and sisters in Christ. So that's my jewel for y'all, man. Do you have a certain call or ministry to reach out to people with a certain type of struggle in life? Do you feel like there's a certain group of people?
Absolutely. I know what it's like to be anxious. I know what it is to deal with loneliness and being an outcast. So I definitely want to reach out to those who feel like that, like they don't fit in. Because I know what it's like not to fit in at school, to walk by and feel like a ghost. To go out to other places and see people you know, but they have no idea who you are. So I definitely feel a call and a draw towards people who feel like they don't exist.
What about with your music? Like, do you feel like there's a song that you could create? Because there's a lot of titles that Christian artists are creating. There's a lot of bold statements that we could create. All right. So with that said, is there like a certain title or a certain theme of a song that's missing out that people need to talk about more in songs to reach out to people?
That's a good question. I definitely say anxiety.
Anxiety. Yeah.
Because I hear people talking about depression. I hear them talking about loneliness, but I don't hear a lot about anxiety.
I feel like
issue people deal with.
NF does it kind of, but
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, he came from depression background, just like Eminem, and a lot of people relate him to Eminem because his style, white rapper from Detroit.
Right.
So I would agree. Depression. What else about depression? I mean, you got drugs. Drugs cause depression. Is there a certain issue within like depression? You feel like because you can be depressed for certain reasons, breakups and marriages. And I feel like you can pick on a certain subject actually where people face that causes depression. Would there be like a certain type of subject?
That's hard to say. Honestly, a lot of it, to me, in my experience, a lot of it has to deal with self-pity.
Okay.
You just feel like the whole world is against you. So instead of allowing people to help you, you kind of revert back into yourself, into your own cocoon, and you kind of just, whoa, it's me. And so all the people that's calling you, hitting you up, trying to help you, you block them out. And that's what I talk about in the song Nothing Matters to Me right now. I'm like, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you. I just want to be in my own little shell. And it's destructive and detrimental, but at that point in time, that's what I want to do. And I mean, I want to call out to all those people, let you know that is not helpful. And I know what you're going through, because I still struggle with it. I still do it too at times, but I have to recognize that God has given me these people in my life, my wife, my parents, my brother, sister, friends at church, and allowed them to help me and talk about these things I'm dealing with, so I can get the help and be pulled out of the ditch that I feel like I'm in.
Cool. So we're going to end this off in a minute. We're going to play, actually, we're going to go back to back. Nothing Matters to Me right now. We're going to play True Story back to back. So True Story, what is that song about?
True Story is my call to the hip-hop game. I love hip-hop. I love the culture, but there are a lot of things in hip-hop that I just believe are bad. The glorification of sex, money, drugs, just the lack of content and substance in the music. So in this song, I'm kind of like kicking the door down, saying, hey, this ain't cool. Stop it. Raise the standard. Rise. We're better than this. So I'm just calling the game to change.
Cool. I like that. Coming from a authentic, real man, Phresh Air in the studio on Irregular Raps with your host Stray, y'all. So where can people find you? You got some performances coming up. You're performing today, actually.
Yeah, today. The Lyrical Coffee
House.
With my homie Tim Day.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they could find my stuff at Phresh Air, and that's PH instead of F, PHRESH.
I had to catch up with you about the X, man. I didn't know people were using X for that reason. I didn't even see a lot of people using the X in with the rap name. So I was like, what does X mean? I thought that was a part of your name. But now I know it's like an underscore.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm catching up just like he is, but I'm probably a little bit more far behind than he is. So yeah, I'm a millennium though, man. Don't get me wrong, I'm a millennium. But I said millennium.
Yeah,
I'm
millennial.
So yeah, man, I appreciate you being on the show though, man. I like your music, and I look forward to hearing more about you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
No
Glad
problem.
to be here.